Hello, and welcome to Ex Cold Ed, the podcast where I share my experiences, thoughts, and feelings after leaving the truth, otherwise known as the 2x2 way, the fellowship, the one true way. You get the picture. My hope is that in sharing this, it will be cathartic for me and perhaps make you, dear listener, feel less alone if you've been through or are going through something similar. This is my story. Something I'm really struggling with lately is learning how to relax. Being in the cult, and perhaps my upbringing in particular, I feel like all my time was focused on being productive. If I wasn't being productive for this life or the next, I was wasting time. Now that I've left the cult, I really struggle to relax. I've got some amazing friends who I've started catching up with on weekends, but I've noticed that when we sit down to relax, my mind instantly starts racing to all the things I should be doing or could be doing. I've noticed that I keep missing moments in the here and now because I'm so caught up on trying to maximize my time and multitask and get things done while relaxing. You've probably heard the term time confetti, but just in case, I'll try to describe it. It's sort of used to describe the way that we try to do everything all at once all the time. And so throughout the day, we find ourselves with these little chunks of time that we fill with all sorts of things. And we don't end up fully enjoying or focusing on any one task. What time confetti looks like in my life is feeling exhausted and wanting to watch a show. I sit down with the show on and pull out my phone and start looking for Christmas presents for my partner, or looking at TAFE courses because I don't know what I'm doing next year, or answering messages from my friends because I don't want to leave them hanging. In those moments, I'm not watching the show and I'm not fully focused on whatever it is I'm trying to do on my phone either. I'm trying to do everything while also not being fully engaged in anything. And it is draining. I never seem to feel recharged. In fact, lately, I've been feeling really super tired, anxious, flat, and burnt out. And I think a lot of that is to do with how I'm using my time. And honestly, I don't know if this is all to do with the cult or just a general life thing at the moment, because I used to do a lot of reading when I was younger, but now I really struggle to focus on a book to get through it. I actually can't remember the last time I read a whole book now. The thing is, instead of fully focusing half an hour or an hour of my time on reading a book, I'll read a few pages, scroll my phone, read a few more pages, check my phone, and again, I'm just breaking up each thing into little bits of confetti. The other thing I've been really wanting to do is writing. I feel like I used to get into the moment a lot more when I was journaling, but now I struggle to get thoughts out on paper. I definitely need to try to take more time. I think I get stressed out thinking that I have to write something, and it ends up giving me writer's block. Something else I've been thinking about is the way we often fall into the trap of just doing stuff to fill in time. We fall into these habits that are ways to pass the time rather than enjoying it. One thing I have done a lot in the past and have been doing a little bit lately is playing computer games. I have spent hours and hours on computer games because they help me to rest my brain and zone out. Playing games requires a lot of focus, which means my racing brain can finally have a bit of rest by focusing and getting in the zone. But I also don't want to spend all my time playing computer games. I want to make memories with the people I love. Now, I'm a bit of an ambivert, so I definitely do relax and recharge doing things on my own. But my favorite thing is doing things alone with other people. I sometimes find myself getting into those moods where I can't pick a relaxing thing and focus on it because I keep thinking about all the jobs I need to do. Sometimes just having someone next to me relaxing as well forces me to relax because I feed off their energy. I know in the cult we always had to be productive, but Sunday was a rest day. Sunday we were forced to not do jobs, but not do anything fun either. We weren't allowed to do sports. Sunday was basically spent at meetings, eating a big roast for lunch, and then not being allowed to do much or any activity to burn it off. I remember asking if we could play table tennis on Sunday, and the adults not being sure, or making some little excuse about why it might be okay. I have been consciously trying to take time for myself lately, but it has to be in teeny tiny chunks. I struggle to take more than a few minutes of time that doesn't feel productive in some way, or just feel those random moments mindlessly scrolling social media. I have asked my closest friends to help me with this, to force me to relax. The problem is, I hate being forced to do things. If they took my phone off me and told me to relax, I would fight them to the death. But I think it's so important to take time to do things I love doing and to spend quality time relaxing with people I care about. I also think we did really struggle with having hobbies and interests in the cult. The fact was, religion was our main interest and hobby. Oh, you have some spare time? Read your Bible, go pray, go help out the elderly. Even our fun social get-togethers were sings where we sang hymns together. Everything we did with partners or friends revolved around the cult. There was always more time to spend with God and more time to dedicate to Him. And when you think about it with jobs, there's always more jobs to do. There's always the next thing. If we keep just ticking off the next thing, we'll never relax. Once I've vacuumed, then there's the kitchen that needs fixing and the windowsills are full of dust, and then I need to clean the windows themselves, and then I need to wash my car. The list of jobs that needs doing is endless. At some point, you have to put that aside and just rest. And the fact is, even though we feel like we're so time poor, we actually have so much time due to all the modern conveniences, like washing machines and dishwashers. I was actually talking with a friend about this recently, and she was saying how her nonna used to go and hand wash clothes. I can't imagine how long that would have taken out of a day. Imagine washing bed sheets. It's so strange to me that I grew up in this cult where we were constantly thinking about using our time wisely for God and preparing for eternity. Yet now that I've left, I really struggle to prioritize how I'm spending my time for myself. I constantly find myself just filling in moments of time by scrolling social media. And yet I can't find the time to do the things I want to do. But what am I doing? Just random filler stuff. I'm always planning what I'm doing next and what I'm doing all day and what I'm doing tomorrow, but I don't actually plan time to just do nothing. And this even includes planning stuff with friends. Because I'm an ambivert, that means I have elements of introversion, and I often find myself overcommitting to things in the future and then spending a week or a few days stressing about how busy I'm going to be and how tired I'm going to be after spending all that time away from home and with other people. Sometimes I ignore my need to just be at home and relax. So, some things I want to do to make myself less time poor is schedule in uninterrupted time for reading and writing. I want to go and sit down and spend time with friends and not check my phone and not worry about who might be waiting for a reply when I hear my phone go off. I just want to work on being present more often where I am. I don't just want to pass my time, I want to spend it wisely. That's so triggering. I'm sure many of us culties have said that at the end of a testimony far too many times. What I mean is, I want to spend it doing the things that make me happy. I feel like the word wisely implies that the way I spend my time has to be useful. And that's not what I mean. I mean, I want to make sure I'm getting out of my time what I hope to get, which I'm not even sure what it is yet because I need to go do it first. But the ultimate goal, I guess, is to feel recharged. To feel like I didn't go through a whole day and not know where it went. I want to be more purposeful, I guess. In fact, I don't know how accurate it is, but I read a post that if you switch out your social media scrolling for 15 minutes of reading a book in the morning and evening, you'll be able to read around 20 books a year. So I'm definitely going to give that a try. And I'm also going to try setting a timer for, say, 15 minutes and then sitting down to journal. The timer isn't going to give me a maximum time, but it's more so that I know I have a point where I can stop if I want to. That will stop me from sitting there wondering how long I've been writing for and whether or not I should stop. If I know that I have a timer going off at some point in the future, I feel like my brain can rest knowing that this specific time is dedicated to this task only. I need to do all I can to stop myself from this habit of just picking up my phone and mindlessly scrolling Facebook. So taking these chunks of time confetti, putting a timer on them, and focusing on one task should hopefully help me. And hopefully, if I implement some of these things, I'm going to feel less all over the place, less frazzled. I want to feel like I'm dedicating my time to things, which we used to really do when we were in the cult because we used to dedicate our time to God and we used to feel bad if we did something else. So now I need to work on dedicating my time to me. Although I'm not living for a higher power or a life after this life, and the fact that I'm not living for a higher power or a life after this life should make me value my time so much more because it's all I get. Actually, I went to a funeral recently where they read out a poem that I've been reading to anyone who will listen lately. And the poem is called Whatever Makes You Glad to Be Alive by Donna Ashworth. One of the lines that really appeals to me is, nobody said life had to be this hard. Nobody made you sign up for a daily grind so punishing you couldn't find the energy to do what makes you happy. This life is short, my friend, and each of us don't know how long we have, so let's not waste another moment of another day feeling like a prop in our own show. I really do want to start looking for these blissful moments of joy. I really do sound like I'm giving a testimony, but all of what I'm saying is true. I definitely need to be more mindful with how I'm spending my time and what things are making me happy and what things are affecting me negatively. And that includes my social interactions as well. It includes all the little things that I keep doing to try to fill the time. So if I have a spare moment and I'm sitting in the car, does picking up my phone and scrolling social media make me happy? Does it make me feel fulfilled? Probably not. So what else could I do? I could listen to a podcast. I could perhaps look up the news because then I'll feel more informed. So I need to look for things to replace those things that would make me feel more self-confident, more happy, more informed, more empowered, more whatever it is that I want to feel. I think I've sort of fallen into a trap of existing, of waiting to see what happens. I know it's coming up to that time where we start making New Year's resolutions, and this coming year, I definitely do want to try to spend my time in a way that I want to without feeling selfish about that. I've been lucky enough to have been given this life, however you believe that we get it, and I should make the most of it. Not everyone is so lucky. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I really appreciate you. If you'd like to reach out, ask any questions, vent, say whatever you need to say, even if that's getting annoyed about something I've said, email me at exculted@gmail.com. That's exculted@gmail.com. And always remember, you can walk your own way, speak your own truth, and live your own life. Bye!